Well, it's September, time to go back to school. Of course, we know that we can never really get a break from the school of life, for it is always happening. And so I thought for September it would be good to choose as our theme higher education. And today's topic is a deeper knowledge. And a deeper knowledge cannot come from a book. It cannot come from attending a university or a college. A deeper knowledge is found right within us, within our own being, to know that great I am is the one that I can tap into at all times that will give me everything that I have need of. It's having the faith of God. Because that's what we are, not just a faith in God that is out there somewhere, so that we have a faith of that God presence. And it takes a major step of letting go of everything that we have thought was right. Letting go of everything that we even have a conceptual idea of what God is. For when we stand back and assess it from an honest position, there's no way we can ever know what this infinite being really is, and what we really are as well, since we are part and parcel of it. And so it takes a remembering to let those limitations, those reasonings that we have come up with about ourselves and life and God and others, just let them go. Let it be washed away so that we can live in this eternal now, in this present that is ever fresh. And that way we are available. That way we are teachable. That way we can be elevated into a higher level of consciousness, which is what life is all about. So Joel Goldsmith says the very first thing that we need to do in this agenda, in our itinerary, whatever you want to call it, of our education in the spiritual realm, is to have the requirement of meditation. Meditation is the place where we can find the great I am. And it takes consciously, consistently doing it. And not just in the morning, perhaps, or not just in the evening, or at a set particular time when we sit and maybe say Om and all of that. It takes dipping into it a little at a time throughout the day. And so I wanted to help us in this assignment, and I found something that's been helping me. I tore a page out of one of the Science of Mind magazines. It was from February, and it was written by Reverend Jane Beach. And I have it now next to me where I meditate, because to me it's really a nice guide, a nice reminder. So I'm going to share it with you. It starts with a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Place yourself in the middle of the stream of power and wisdom, which flows into you as life. Place yourself in the center of that flood that you are, without effort, impelled to truth, to right and perfect contentment. And then a quote from Ernest Holmes. I have discovered a secret place where the thought goes into a mountain high above the din of the world. I have found in this mountain a place of peace and rest, a place of joy and comfort to the heart. I have found that secret place of God is within my own soul. And then Reverend Jane Beach wrote, and it's kind of a guideline, so I'm going to take it a little slow, and if you want later, I'll make copies of it for you. Settling into comfort in my body, letting go of everything before this moment, I tune into a deeper sense of oneness with life, with God, with spirit. I feel myself grounded in this moment. You know, sometimes we do that activity where we have our feet flat on the ground and we literally feel that energy coming up through us, maybe coming up through our chakras. You feel grounded. I move into a sense of perfect balance. I feel a sense of spaciousness in my life and affairs. I am at peace. I abide in the deep grounding peace of God. I clearly see and feel myself as an expression of love. I send love. I give love. I am loving. I receive love. I abide in love. I am love. Love is who I am. I am a healing presence, no matter what is going on. I stand in faith that there is a divine intelligence at work, no matter what it looks like. It is well with my soul. I bask in this sense of well-being, centered in the peace of God. I live in joy, in love. It is well with my soul. And from there, as we are established in that peace, we are established in knowing that there is love only in me, as me, through me, all around me. We are then available to go to the next step of what this meditative process gives us. For me, it's interesting because lately, this last week, I had this mantra come to me, let. I let. And somehow that helps me focus on all of the other stuff that could come up into the head and just say, I let. And eventually, though, in that meditative process, we don't even need the mantra. We don't need any of that because we find ourselves in this space of perfect peace. And for me, it's like a lightness. It's like this energy just flows very readily, and it's a fabulous feeling. And that's what Joel Goldsmith keeps telling us, is that this whole energy of God is something that we need to experience. We need to feel it. I love Joel, the way that he differentiates in his writing between the I, the ego I, is like a regular capital, but if he's talking about the I am, it's italicized, it's slanted. Because there are two, kind of in a way, of I's that we play with in this human existence, this egoic I, and then our real I, the I am self of us. And when we are studying and listening, we got to remember which I is talking to us, which I we're paying attention to throughout the day. It's easy to do it in meditation. Well, sometimes. But throughout the day is when we really get the test of letting. Because remember, God usually speaks to us in that quiet voice. It's not something that bowls us over the head. And as I wrote in the thought for the week, I'm sure all of us have had those intuitive feelings that, oh, I should do this or I shouldn't do that. And that's that little sense of that I speaking to us. And sometimes we don't heed it, don't listen to it, and then in hindsight we'll say, oh yeah, I did know that. I was being spurred to move in that direction, and I didn't take it. So I know all of us are familiar with the way that still small voice speaks to us personally, individually. So get to know it better. I have been, of course, watching my 3-year-old granddaughter again, still. And she, like her father, came into this world with the word why on her lips. Again and again and again and again. Why? You try to answer it, but why? Try to answer, why? I was cutting up a cantaloupe yesterday, and we need to get the seeds out. Why are there so many seeds in here? I said, well, that's the way God made it. And they don't speak about God in their household, so she says, what's God? I said, well, God made everything. And she just kind of, okay. She just accepted it. Oh, okay, God made everything. Good. Can move on. But sometimes she asks me these questions, why? And you just get so exasperated. And you don't know. And honestly, I can say from my egoic eye, well, I don't know. But God knows. And he's not telling. That's all I know. God knows, he's not telling. So I am continually trying to let myself let go of all the expectations, all of the things I should and shouldn't do, so that I'm available to be open, to be teachable. We want to let go of our judgments, especially of ourself. To be able to be kind to ourselves, to live in this moment, because that's all we have, is this precious one moment that we are taking this breath in. And we know in Science of Mind, in New Thought, that as we position ourselves, what we think about, what we focus on, we bring about. So our future is dependent upon where we are today. And if there's one thing that we can do is just allow ourselves to practice the presence. Meaning, feel it, acknowledge it, know that it is right here within me and all around me and everywhere, in everyone and in everything, to practice that presence so that we can be living in this kingdom that is. And it's going to take growing. It's going to take letting go of what has been, because that was the past, and being available and acceptable now of what Spirit has to work through us. And it takes knowing that there is only love. You know, the Course in Miracles has told us, we've known this for years, there's only 2 choices, love or fear. And we can go back time and time again to just, what would love do? What would love do here? Love would be allowing. Love would let. And we want to see ourselves as that, of letting go. You know, the master teacher, Jesus the Christ, gave us 2 commandments. Well, the first commandment was to love God with all your heart, mind, and soul. And the second commandment is like unto it, love your neighbor as yourself. So we are to love God, to love everything, to love our neighbor as ourselves. That means we have to love ourselves first. And then we are to seek the kingdom. He told his disciples to let go of everything and follow me. This spiritual path is not for sissies. It's not for those people that just want to dabble and have a little bit better life. Because as we have seen, as we've been reading Paramahansa Yogananda, as we've been reading Michael Singer, as we've been reading all these folks that have become really true mystics, many times there will be a test of appearances coming from the world. And so be aware of that. Each of us is on our spiritual path, and we will ultimately get there to enlightenment, whether it will be in this existence or in another one, in this form or another. This experience, hopefully we are leading ourselves up to a higher, brighter knowledge and knowing that we are God in expression. Joel Goldsmith wrote, "There is no way to bring a spiritual good, a spiritual power into our experience from the outside. Spirituality is not something that comes to us, but rather something that flows out from us as we entertain the Word." And what is the Word? Love yourself, love God, and love others, and seek the kingdom, and all else will be added unto us. Let go, allow, smile. Know that where we are, God is, and truly, all is well. So be ready, be available, be open, and be joyous, for love is all there is. Namaste.